Capture the objectives.
Hey guys, AFB here. Or if you see me on PSN, I go by The Abhorrent. I'm not very highly leveled, but you know, I'm working on it. I actually prefer playing on PS3 right now because I'm a 6th prestige. Apparently this is a really old gameplay. It's almost 3 prestiges ago. This is 4th prestige gameplay. And I like playing on PS3 because I'm level 22 or something like that, I think. Which means that when I play a game and I do really well, my stats go through the roof. Like, I think within a span of 2 hours, I went from a 1.04 KD to a 1.22, which I realize isn't that great still, as far as YouTube goes. But for me, that's a huge thing. That's a lot, as far as 2 hours goes. But back to introducing myself. My name's Jeremy. I'm 22. I live in Canada. I actually just turned 22. From time to time, I say I'm 21. I am 22. It takes a little while for me. It's kind of like, you know, at the start of the month when you always write the last month's date. It's that kind of thing. It'll take me. But this is a domination gameplay on Resistance. I am using the MSR as I speak, but I do have an MP7 as my primary. My MSR is actually my secondary because I'm using Overkill, which is not something I see a lot on YouTube. And I've always been a big fan of Overkill. I loved Call of Duty 4 because it allowed me to play Halo 3 style because I'd put on the M40A3 and I throw a shotgun like that, just, you know, for those up close and personal. I'm not a very quick scoper. I don't go out and purposely try. If it happens, I celebrate and I throw my fist in the air and I often die right after because I'm so surprised at myself. But I prefer to hardcore, as you'll see many times throughout this gameplay. I find this gameplay to be a bit campy, but this is sort of my playstyle. You know, I choose support because I play a support role. I'm not out there killing 17 million guys. I'm not getting Moabs. No, I hang out in the back. I use my sniper rifle. I use my primary when I need to as backup. But I just kind of hang out and try and defend the team. And my favorite game of all time, as I'm sure will come up in the comments, I realize that was awesome. Thank you. But my favorite game of all time is Call of Duty 4. I think it's mostly because, not just because it's not, but mostly because it was one of my first games. My first game I ever played on Actually, I got a PS3 to Christmas, it came out. But I had it for a year and none of my friends did. I was a PlayStation guy. I had a PS1, I had a PS2, I had a PS3. Loved it, but there wasn't a whole lot to do with it. Like, I didn't really know about Call of Duty at the time. I was only about 15, I think. And the next year, my buddy who'd always been a Nintendo guy, he traded in his, or maybe he did trade his, maybe he just saved up. I'm not sure. But he got an Xbox. He started playing Halo 3. I remember going over to his place and watching him play, and it just looked so cool. You know, like bouncing bullets off floors and off walls and no scoping. It looked amazing to me. So that next Christmas, you know, I just tried to be a good kid and, you know, ask my parents, hey, can you get me an Xbox? You know, all my friends have it. It's actually me and a couple of my buddies. We went on a road trip to a city. I had your tires, you know, have a mall, product store. We didn't have a McDonald's actually, because we all went through this McDonald's grocery. But anyway, back to my story. We actually took a road trip to the day trip. But we went there and we took in, he had just this pile of Sega games and PS1 and PS2 games. We just traded them all. Because we're trying to get the Halo 3 Legendary Edition Xbox, which he still had. As far as I know, I could be lying, but as far as I'm concerned, we're gonna say he still has it. But we went and got it, and he had it. Actually, every lunchtime, we'd jump in my vehicle, whether it was a truck or a van or whatever I had that day, because I was fortunate. My dad worked out town, and he had, like, I know some guys that work 5 on, 5 off. Well, my dad worked 6 weeks on, 6 weeks off. So for 6 weeks at a time, I had a truck to drive, or I had a van to drive, or I had a vehicle to drive. And I got to drive it all the time. And so we'd take off from my buddy's house every lunch. And we'd eat our lunch on his couch. You know, we'd have our sandwiches hanging out for lunch while we're playing Halo. And that was just such a big deal. We loved Halo. The three of us, we everything Halo. And then my other buddy, the buddy I talked about first, who, you know, he got Call of Duty 4, and I was completely unaware. I didn't have an Xbox. I was still rocking my PS3 card. You know, I was playing Heavenly Sword. That game, balling, by the way. Anybody looking for a good PS3 game? It's pretty cheap right now. Heavenly Sword, a lot of fun. Like God of War, but with a girl, and a lot of fun. Although I actually haven't played God of War, it's just assumption. Actually, that's not true. I started playing one of the intro games because I got it with a controller, because I do have a PS3 as well. But I couldn't really get into it just because the graphics were so bad on that, because it's made for a PSP. However, I am really rambling on here. I should really get back to it. But yeah, so my friends had Xbox, I asked for an Xbox, and I was all about Halo 3. And as I was getting really into Halo 3, my second buddy, the one who I took a road trip with, he got Call of Duty 4. And he started playing with all my other buddies who had Xboxes. And that was the main reason why I have an Xbox, is because all my buddies bought Xboxes around the same time. And so they started playing together, and you know, eventually I kind of gave in the peer pressure, and you know, I picked up Call of Duty 4. I remember playing Call of Duty 4 the first time, and I completely lost interest in Halo, which was a big deal because my life was Halo was my jam at the time. And so I picked up Call of Duty 4, and I just started playing. And I think I have almost 20 days logged in Call of Duty 4. Actually, I was calculating it the other day, and I think I have between Call of Duty 4, Black Ops, Modern Warfare 2, and Modern Warfare 3. I think I have almost 60 days gameplay, which is a ridiculous amount of hours. I think I calculated the other day, a while back, over 1,200 hours. But that was without Modern Warfare 3 added in. That was just with Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops, and Call of Duty 4. And especially now, I'm starting to get into World of War, so I get prestige tokens, which I realize cheap doesn't, but hey, I like prestige tokens. I like double XP. I actually just joined a clan, and it's funny because just after I joined them, we needed 13 more XP, and then I guess they recruited somebody else, and so I got an extra 2. That was expensive. In my later videos, you'll probably see that I have a yellow clan tag with a squiggly line, 73, another squiggly line. That's the clan I joined. I'm not sure what they're called at the moment, but all the guys in the clan so far are really awesome. We actually played together a little while back, and we were just crushing. We were playing regular domination. I know it's big ground war, which is why there's so many people running around and so hectic right now. And I realize I ramble a lot. I go off on tangents. This is somewhat of a problem of mine, although I don't know if I call it a problem as trying to be entertaining while thinking and watching my gameplay, because that's what I'm doing right now. I'm talking, sitting here in my room by myself, watching my gameplay and talking. And as far as I'm concerned, I think I'm doing okay. I realize I am camping up a storm. I might as well have the title of King Camper as my title, because I'm just being campy. However, I'm a supportive player. I might have already talked about this, I'm not sure, because I've had to redo this commentary a bunch of times because I just forget what I want to say. But I realize I'm camping. I know I am. Woody calls it patrolling an area, but I'm not really patrolling an area. I'm kind of sitting in this house, you know, trying to watch B, just trying to make sure that we keep B, because B is one of the most important flags in domination. If you can keep B, if your team can get whichever flag is closer to you from where you're defending B, you guys have it made. It's not a big deal. 2 of you can hang out at each flag if you want, and just triple cap the entire game, but it's a lot easier if 1 or 2 of you guys stay watching B, and then even if you guys, your team wants to run around alternating flags, let them cap C while you cap A, then wait for them to come towards A, and you guys go and cap C. Either way, as long as you have B, you're pretty much fine. But, back to my B. I play supportive role. I have support kill streaks, as you just saw with my EMP. I love playing supportive role. That's what I do. I'm not running around. I don't like running around and getting all sorts of kills because I'm not good at it. I don't react well under pressure. I always find I go for the wrong player. I go for the guy who's not shooting at me versus the guy who is shooting at me. If I shot the guy on the right, I would survive and be able to shoot the guy on the left. But I always seem to go for the guy on the left, which I realize is probably not big too bad. I need a drink. Back to it. Support player. I try to support my team because, unlike this game, is not the best example of this. But I'm not really a big number. You know, I don't get in the labs. I don't, go flawless. I think I've maybe gone flawless once, and I apologize for the darkness there. I'm recording this in theater mode, and I didn't touch my controller. I didn't realize it was doing it, and I apologize for that. Actually, I just watched the commentary recently with Diesel. I think it's Triple D's latest episode where he talks about a competitive sniping team with his girlfriend. And he does the same thing, so I don't feel as bad as I think. But that's I ran. I don't really know what I'm doing. As far as commentaries goes, I don't know if I'll keep up with it. I'm kind of doubting I will. But as this wraps up, I'm AFB. I'm going to have to sign out. I actually do have a Moab gameplay coming up. I have a couple things, a couple optic guys, which, although one of them is not an optic anymore, he's a comment. He's with Days now. But this is AFB, and I'm out.